Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable English PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to practice talking on the phone. I know this can be a very stressful experience when you're learning a language. I have had this experience. So today we're going to talk about 3 different situations you might need to do some things on the phone, and we're going to cover a lot of really small points that probably you think about and you go, I don't know which one I should choose, like prepositions, those little words like for and at and by. We're going to practice those when you're talking on the phone to make sure that those questions you have and to make sure the sentences you say are clear and smooth and easy to understand. So I hope this is a really good daily life practice lesson for everybody. So as you join, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share the video and send a message in the chat if you're watching live. I'll come and say hello in just a moment. But while we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to remind you about this banner at the bottom of the screen. This is the 2000 Core Words ebook that our team has created for you for free. Yay! So if you have not checked this out yet, you can find this from the link below or above the video. It's at EnglishClass101.com. The 2000 core words of English are the 2000 most commonly used words in everyday communication. So these are the words that come up the most, right? So if you're studying vocabulary, if you know you need to build your vocabulary, this is a great tool for you because it makes sure that you study the most important words first. So you can download this for free. You just need your name and an email address to make a free account at EnglishClass101.com, and then you can log in to the account, click that link that I mentioned down here or up here, and you can download this for free. It's a free PDF. You can put it on your phone, put it on your computer, you can print it out, go crazy, do whatever you like. So I hope that's really helpful for you. I'll remind you again later. Okay. It looks like everything's rolling. I will say hi, YouTube. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Welcome. Hello, Mauricio from Colombia. What's up? Hello, Stalin. Hello, Fatih, one of our members. What's up? Hi, Rocky. Hi, Valen, Natalie, Victor, Salman, Dormela, Sheila from Brazil. Omar, hello, how are you doing? I am doing great. How are you, Omar? Okay, and everybody. Parviz from Canada. Hi, Rafika, what's up? Facebook, hello, Abdullah and Sarla. My voice is very slow. What does that mean? You mean I'm speaking too slowly for you? Would you like me to speak very, very fast? Most people do not want me to speak fast on these channels. Francisco, what's up from Nicaragua? And TT, hello. Welcome, everyone. Okay, let's begin because, as always, I like to explain all the points and talk about your questions. So let's get into it. If you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and share the video because it helps other people find the lesson. So let's get started. Let's begin with my personal favorite, making orders. So when you want to, for example, call a restaurant to make an order, or you need to call a business to ask for an item, how should we do that? Here is a great pattern you can use for all of these cases, okay? So first, you pick up the phone and you say, hello, I'd like to place an order for. Okay, I'd like to place an order for. The beginning, we're going to practice this for restaurants. At the end of part 1, we'll practice using a pattern for items. Okay, so for now, let's practice restaurants and let's break down the sentence. So we have, hello, I'd like to place an order for, and then we can choose here for delivery or takeout. So delivery or takeout. Delivery means someone brings the food to you. Takeout means I will come into the store, I will pick up my food and go home. I hope. Okay? So, a couple things to note. Number 1, I'd. The first mistake I often notice here, which you can avoid now, is this I'd. Many learners say, I like to. Incorrect. I like to means an activity you like to do. This I'd is the reduced form of I would, right? Hello, I would like to, okay? So don't forget this D I'd like to. You can practice saying it now with me if you want to make sure you're practicing it correctly. Hello, I'd like to. I'd like to. Okay? Second, I'd like to place an. And we must use an because order starts with a vowel sound. Yeah? I'd like to place an order. Okay? Not place a order. And we must use an article here, but not a definite article, because the other person doesn't know it, right? We cannot use the here. I'd like to place the order. No, 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 no. So this one, you just started the conversation. The other person doesn't know what order you mean. So we must use the indefinite and. We cannot use the here, okay? Third point, for. I'd like to place an order for. I'd like to place an order for. For shows the purpose of something. So this one, we're kind of thinking about the delivery or the takeout as like the purpose or the objective of this order. Okay, I'd like to place an order for delivery, please. Or I'd like to place an order for takeout, please. You might have heard also takeaway. Takeaway. Excuse me. In American English, we say takeout. Or in British English, and I think Australian English, use take away. So it depends on the type of English you're studying. If you study with my lessons a lot, it's probably best to continue using the American English vocabulary, takeout, takeout. So I'd like to place an order for delivery. I'd like to place an order for takeout. And the other side will say, okay, what would you like? Or maybe, wait a moment, and then they'll take your order. So how do you ask for those items? Okay, next one. I have two patterns here that you might hear and that you can use to request the food, okay? So, can I get? Can I get? Okay? So, can I get, for example, a something, or can I get an something? Okay? So, again, we must follow the vowel rule here when we use our articles. Can I get a pizza? Can I get a Hawaiian pizza? Can I get an apple pie? Okay, so we can use this for one item. Or can I get two pizzas, right? So you can begin your order with can I get? Can I get? Okay, Janie in the YouTube chat wrote, can I get a Coke? Perfect, great job, Janie. Okay, Fuad wrote, I would like to order a meal. Good, okay, I'd like to order a meal. Good one. Next, I think if I can recommend one of these two sentence patterns to you, I recommend the second one. It's more polite. I prefer to be more polite in everyday speech because I feel like it's nicer to other people. I feel like it's better to be nice to other people. So that's my preference. Maybe you feel this way too. So I usually say, can I please have? Can I please have? So same thing, can I? And I include please have. And then I use the verb have here instead of get, right? That sounds like I want to receive this thing, okay? So can I please have a pizza? Can I please have an apple pie? Okay, easy like that. Some people will say, yeah, I want something, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I want a pizza. You might hear some people say that. For me, that's too direct. I feel like I want to be nice to the other person, the person taking my order. So I recommend, can I please have, okay? All right, so the Black Eagle put a good example in. Can I please have a chocolate cake? Okay, good. All right, let's continue to maybe let's talk about this pattern then. The second part here is some, oh, that's interesting. Thank you for the information control desk. Okay, the next pattern I want to talk about is not just for restaurants. This one is, can I put in an order for item? Can I put in an order for item? In native speed, this sounds like, can I put in an order for blah, for thing? Okay, so what is this used for? Again, we use this to call a business to ask for something. You can use this at a restaurant as well. But if you need to order a part for something, or if you need to order like a computer piece, something general life item, you can use this pattern. Yeah, can I put in an order for a new computer? I don't know what situation you need to use it, but can I put in? Can I put in? So this put in means like enter or register, okay? And then the same thing, we have an order. This is also here. And then our purpose, you know, what do we need it for? Can I put in an order for something? So you can use this as well for more general things. Usually these are used at restaurants, can I get and can I please have. You can also say, can I order? So there are a few different ways to approach these situations. But these are, I think, 3 nice ones that are usually okay in most ordering situations on the phone. Some examples are coming in. On Facebook, Ro wrote, can I please have a pizza? Nice one. Okay, good. What's up? YouTube, oh my gosh. Rocky wrote, I'd like to get spaghetti and meatballs, please. Very nice. Omar, I have a question. After for, if we put the verb, do we put it the ing? Hello, I'd like to place an order for verbing. Like, is that what you mean? Like for verb ing? Like in this pattern, we are requesting an item. Yeah. So for this pattern, we don't request an action. Maybe I'm not sure if I understand your question. If you could send an example, that would be super, super helpful, and maybe I can help you, okay? Paloma wrote, can I get some spaghetti and wine, please? Nice one, okay? Stalin wrote, can I please have the bill? Yeah, great one. So maybe you don't need to use, can I please have the bill on the phone, but that is an important one to ask, okay? Fatih, why can and not could? Could is also okay to use here. Can is more for everyday communication. Just everyday, more casual things. You could use could here. So you say, could I get or could I please have? Perfect. It's also okay to use those. It sounds a little bit more polite. So it's no problem there. Okay, let's continue to the next part. We're gonna go to reservations. When you call a restaurant to make a reservation, how do you do it and what prepositions do you need to use? Okay, I know this one especially is challenging for many people. So let's practice this and let's review those key prepositions. So reservations, our reservation pattern, okay, we go down, control desk, thank you. Okay, so our reservation pattern, our basic reservation pattern, thank you, will be, I'd like to make a reservation for number of people on day at time. I'd like to make a reservation for number of people on day at time. So you can see in blue, I marked the parts that we need to enter our information. Yeah? This, I have 3 prepositions. I have 3 preposition points for you to practice. You can practice saying them out loud with me now if you want to do some shadowing. Okay? So first, again, we have for in this sentence. I'd like to make a reservation for is preposition 1. Okay? For number of people on before the day, at before the time. Okay? So we've got 3 prepositions here that show purpose, day, and time. And we have the same point from the first example I showed you earlier. I'd. So not I like to, I'd like to. Don't forget that d. It matters so much. You will sound so much more fluent. So let's look at the example sentence. Let's break it down. I'd like to make a reservation for 2 people on Tuesday at 6. I'd like to make a reservation for 2 people at 6. So this sentence maybe sounds kind of like, oh, it's so fast, right? But these little words connect very easily. I'd like to make a reservation for, here we have the number of people, 2 people. I have my preposition, again, on, before the day, in this case, on Tuesday, at 6, okay? In this case, it's clear 6 p.m. Usually a restaurant is not open at 6 a.m., maybe a coffee shop, I don't know. But usually it's clear what time of day that you mean, so you don't need to say 6 p.m. or 12 a.m. No, 12 a.m. would be midnight. That's a very strange restaurant. But anyway, you can use these to very clearly ask for a reservation time, okay? And we're going to talk about in part 2 some other ways to ask for availability, to ask for open times. So yes, there are some other patterns. We're going to practice it a little bit later when we talk about appointments, okay? So let me check the chat and then we'll go to a break and then part 2. Oh my gosh, so many things are coming. Let me catch up. Nuha wrote on Facebook, I'd like to make an appointment on Monday at 8 a.m. Perfect, perfect appointment. Juampi, is that an electronic board? Yes, this is not a whiteboard. Oh, I can do things. I'm afraid to touch it though, because I think if I do something, Control Desk told me I can zoom, but I'm afraid if I zoom it now and I'll won't be able to put it back. Okay. YouTube, you wrote to, oh my gosh. Janie wrote, would I get the bill? It can be possible. No, ask, can I get the bill at a restaurant? But again, today we're talking about the phone, yeah? So usually they will give you the bill when you pick up the item, or there's some kind of online order taking service, yeah? So usually you don't have to ask for the bill at the restaurant. Okay. Omar, clarification, great. Thank you, Omar. If I order something after 4, we don't use ing with the verb. Yeah, so like if you have an example of what you mean, then that maybe is helpful. Like, is there a sentence you have in mind? Hello, I'd like to order, or I'd like to place an order for what? I can't think of a verb that I would put there that makes sense. So I'm inclined to say no, we don't use an ing there. If you have an example sentence that uses that pattern, you can send it. But I would say probably no. That's not a common verb pattern we use. Okay. Niazi wrote, Americans also use the sentence pattern, let me have or let me get. Yes, so American English, and I'm sure all different types of English, use slightly different patterns. Like Americans will say, yeah, I want, or can I get, or let me get. Yes, there are other patterns. This is not all the patterns, but these are very helpful and common, and they're nice and polite and clear. Okay. Great. A lot of people are writing some examples. If I missed you, I'm very sorry. I will try to get you in part 2. I got to continue because, oh my gosh, the lesson is already 20 minutes in. That was only one part. Oh my gosh, I like to explain so much. Let's take a quick break to remind you that the team has a free PDF with your name on it. It can have your name on it. The team has created a 2,000-word ebook. The 2,000 words here in this ebook are the core words of English. These are all the words that we use in everyday life. So the words that you need to know for business, for a job, for school, all those words are in here. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them. The ones you need to know to do everyday life things easily. So check this out. If you haven't downloaded this PDF, you can do it. It is 100% for free. Don't worry about it. So you can go to the link below the video or above the video. Go to EnglishClass101.com, make an account there like this. You can put in your name and your email address to make a free account and download this free PDF ebook. Love that. Okay, let's continue to part 2 because, oh my gosh, time is going quick as always today. If you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video because it really does help other people find the lesson, and we love that, right? Okay, great job everybody who is writing in the chat. I will come and check more. If I missed you in part 1, I'm very sorry. I will come and check in part 2. Let's continue to making appointments on the phone. On the phone. Okay, so how do we make an appointment on the phone? We practiced it in part 1 with a reservation. We are going to use a very similar pattern in part 2. Yay, easy. Okay, so this one, when you begin the phone conversation, you can start with, hello, I'm calling to make an appointment for, okay? Hello, I'm calling to make an appointment for something, okay? So let's break down this base pattern. So this is the base pattern for today. Again, we have this I'm calling to. I'm calling to. In part 1, I introduced I'd like to. You can use that pattern here. Hello, I'd like to make an appointment for. That is also okay. I just wanted to give you another pattern. I'm calling, ing, I'm calling to make an appointment, again, purpose for. I'm calling to make an appointment for thing, okay? So the next part, the end of the sentence, depends on the business you're calling. So, hello, I'm calling to make an appointment for a haircut, right? A haircut. I'm calling to make an appointment for a teeth cleaning. You call the dentist for a teeth cleaning. I'm calling to make an appointment for an oil change, right? At a mechanic shop or a car shop, yeah? So you can use all these different of course, requests for your appointment in this call. It depends on the business. So you can send an example. If there's an appointment you need to make, try to send it in English in the chat and I'll check it live. I'll try to help you with your appointments this week. I hope that's, watch the chat just explode with appointments. A couple points though. Again, we need to consider which article we use before the appointment type, yeah? So here we have a haircut because starts with a consonant sound. A teeth cleaning, but an oil change, yeah? So again, please be careful of your article here, yeah? So we got a few small points again to think about in this sentence, okay? So send me your example appointments, I'll check them, and then for now I'll continue on. I'll come back to you in just a second. All right, when you choose the time for your appointment, we're going to use a similar pattern to part 1. The base is, do you have time on day at time? Do you have time on day at time? Let's look at an example. Do you have time on Thursday at 12 p.m.? Do you have time on Thursday? So notice this part, do you have time, right? Do you have time? This gets squished together. Do you have time? So it sounds like dia, right? Dia. This bit right here, do you? Do you have time? Do you have time? That's how you can say it more naturally. So, do you have time on Thursday at 12 p.m.? We have the same prepositions from part 1, yeah? On, day, at, time, yeah? Let's look at one more example. Do you have time on Friday at 11 a.m.? Do you have time on Friday at 11 a.m.? Okay, so again, it's not a long, scary sentence, but we do have to think carefully about those little connecting words, okay? Last one then here. Are you available on day at time? Are you available on day at time? Okay, so this one sounds a little bit more polite. Are you available? A little bit longer, a little bit more polite. I personally use this one when I'm talking to maybe someone I'm not close to. So someone I don't see very often. For example, like hairstylist maybe. I see once every month and a half or so, and I don't know the person super well, but I want to be respectful and polite. I could say, are you available on day at time? So, are you available on Saturday at 2? Same pattern we have with the prepositions. Or, I also have this one, thank you, Control Desk, marked with the star here. Are you available tomorrow afternoon? So you can change the pattern to include something like tomorrow or the day after tomorrow and a time period. That's also okay. Are you available tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening? You can choose something like that, or you can use a specific time with the on, at pattern. Okay, let me check the chat. What did you write to me? Oh my gosh, great. Rocky wrote, I'm calling to make an appointment for a teeth cleaning at 2 p.m. Very nice. You put it all into one sentence. Very efficient. We like that. Victor wrote, I'm calling to make an appointment for a physical therapy. So, that's a good one. Physical therapy, we would say so physical therapy is like the topic, like the practice. So we would say, I'm calling to make an appointment for physical therapy with no article, because we don't count physical therapy, right? It's like an uncountable noun. You could say, however, a physical therapy session. That might help some other people watching too. When you want to do like, for example, like a gym session or martial arts, or you want to do some kind of training, something like that, where you work together with a professional for like an hour, you might call it a session. So I'm calling to make an appointment for a physical therapy session or a personal training session, something like that. Or yeah, a training session. So I would use session there, okay? Fatih wrote, do you have time to see you soon? Do you have time to see you soon? I think you need to have a different word at the end of that. Do you have time to see me soon? But soon is very vague. When is soon? We need to have some idea of when, right? You need to include some time for the other person. Okay. Stalin wrote, hello, I'm calling to make an appointment with the dentist. Do you have time on Friday? Perfect. Great. On Facebook, Abdullah wrote, are you available on Sunday at 6 p.m. Great. Good. Riyadh, is this a live stream? Yep, it's been live for like 8 years. Same time, same channel. Abdullah wrote, hello. Oh, you put dia. Good. Good for pronunciation, but don't write dia. It's kind of strange. So just write do you, but when you pronounce it, say dia. Hello, do you have time? And then it's good. Good for trying though. Nice one. And you said, do you have time on Friday at 10 a.m.? Perfect. Sarla wrote, I'm calling to make an appointment for makeup. Yeah, great job, everybody. Okay, let's continue to the last part. Let's go to part 3, work questions on the phone. All right. When you need to call your coworker or when you need to call your colleague or someone you know in a different company, how do you do that? Or you call like a client in a different company, how do you do that? There are some key prepositions we need to practice that are special for this section, okay? So let's go through this. I'll come back to the chat after we do this. I just want to make sure to get through everything. Yeah, okay, let's go. So work question pattern, the base pattern I want to talk about. Hello, again. This is name from department at company, okay? How to introduce yourself on the phone. The reason this sentence is long is because often we don't call the person directly. We don't call the client directly. But also, they have many people. Maybe they have many people they work with. So it's really helpful to give all of your information, yeah? Hello, this is name from department at company. Here's an example. If I called you, maybe I would say, hello, this is Alicia from the live stream department at English Class 101. Okay, live stream department isn't a thing, but for example, okay? This is Alicia from. So we have my name, obviously. Here, our preposition is from, okay? We could say from our department and then at before the company or the organization, okay? So we used from before the department. So you can think about this for your job. How would you introduce yourself on a phone call? You, maybe don't put your real information in the chat, yeah? Please be safe. Please don't include your real information. You can put ABC company or, you know, the crazy people department or something like that, whatever you want to do. So don't put your real information in the chat, please, okay? All right, so we can use this to introduce ourselves on the phone very clearly, yeah? If you just call and you say, hi, this is Alicia, your client might be like, who? Like maybe they have lots of people they work with. They don't remember exactly who. So when you give them your company, it really helps them a lot of the time. Oh yeah, that person. Okay, good. Yeah, so make sure to do that. Then the next step is to ask for a person you want to talk to, right? So if you have a connection at the other company or at another department, you can ask, is person available? Is person available, okay? Available sounds more formal. You can say, is person there? It's okay. That's okay to use. You can use that with family as well. When you call someone like at your house, you're like, hey, is mom there? You can use there in less formal situations. In a polite situation, is person available? For example, is Risa available? Is Risa available right now? So you can ask for the person. That means I want to talk to that person, right? But it's not so direct. If you say, hi, I want to talk to blah, 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 to Risa. It's like, it's clear, but it's not so polite, yeah? If you have a good relationship, you can say, I want to talk to that person. It's okay. But to be polite, generally a good idea, is Risa available? Is person available? Okay. Dika, why did you use class instead of pod like your other channels? That is not a question for me. That is a question for the people, the team that manages everything. I did not personally choose that, so you'd have to ask a different question. Okay, Pabrik wrote, hello, this is Karat, I hope I said that right, from XXX department at XXX Inc. Perfect, good example, and good job not using your personal information in the chat. Good. Okay, Mino wrote, hello, this is Mino from Happy Department at Happy Company. I'm calling about the appointment. Perfect. Well done, Mino. Great job not using your personal information. I love that. Okay, let's continue to the last one then, and then I'll come back to the chat. If you didn't get to send your introductory message, I'll check it in a moment. Last one then, I'm calling about topic. I'm calling about topic. So you introduce yourself, you connect to the person you want to talk to. I'm calling about topic. So here, again, I'm, right? I am, plus calling, right? The purpose of my call is topic. So I'm calling about, right? If you want to make this even more polite, you can say regarding. I'm calling regarding your phone bill. I'm calling regarding your presentation, yeah? So after this comes your topic, okay? For example, I'm calling about next week's live presentation. I'm calling about next week's live presentation. Have you decided on your topic yet? Okay, so I'm is, again, we have another pronunciation point here. So today we practiced I'd, right? Like I'd like to. In this case, I'm calling, right? I am calling. So this is a progressive grammar point. I'm calling about next week's live presentation. I think a couple people put their examples in the chat. Okay, great. That's everything. So let me check the chat. Let me check your examples and answer your questions, and then we'll be done for the day. Who did I miss before? Victor. Hello, this is Victor Vidal from Forensic Expert Department at National Police of Peru. Ooh, that's a scary phone call. What's happening there that we need to have it? Oh, Risa's actually in the chat. Hi, Risa. I asked if Risa available. Risa's in the chat. Hi, Risa's my colleague who does live streams as well. Hi, Risa. Good to know you're available. Hey. That's funny. Good. Other examples? On Facebook, Sarla wrote, hello, this is Sarla from Jodhpur at Real Estate, maybe? I'm not sure. So so that was your department, and real estate is your company. If that's so, then that's okay. That's okay to do. If you're, maybe an interesting pattern, if your department or if your company has like different branches, like a different city branch, like you have like a Shanghai branch and you have a Tokyo branch and you have a New York branch, you can say like, hello, this is Alisha from the Tokyo branch. Sorry, let me backtrack. Hello, this is Alisha from the live stream department at the Tokyo branch of English Class 101, or from the New York branch of English Class 101. So you can put branch at, so let me add this, I'll put it in red, at the, I'll put city in here, city branch of company, okay? Is that clear? I hope so. So hello, this is Alisha from the live stream department at the New York branch of company. So that introduces an extra level there, that if you have a branch, if you have a city that is attached to your office, you can use this one to add the extra information there. So we use the word branch, B-R-A-N-C-H, branch, like the branch of a tree. It's like the branch of a tree, but for a company, yeah, one part of the company. So a little extra information. Okay, Fatih wrote, I'm calling about the next business meeting. Good, I'm calling about the next business meeting. Great, I love it. Okay, we got through it all, yeah. So if you want to take a screenshot, now is your chance. I will put the QR code up now. So if you want to use a QR code to get a picture of the lesson notes, now is your chance to do that. I'll get out of your way. Cha-cham, there you go. Hooray! So you can get your QR code version. If you want a screenshot, here is your screenshot chance. Great. Okay, so that is everything for today. Oh my gosh, I made it through. Hooray, I didn't talk too much until the end. Go me. Okay, so we'll finish there for today, but I hope that this helps you when you need to make phone calls and make appointments and reservations, because I know when I started learning Japanese and when I started calling people in Japanese, this was so stressful, and because you can't see the other person, right? So I hope that these help you. If I could recommend practice points from today, I recommend this I'd like to. Practice saying this out loud, yeah? And practice your prepositions. We practiced for and on and at today, as well as some articles. So today we practiced a lot of those little words that are very important. So definitely say those out loud. Yes, thank you, Control Desk, for reminding me. If you haven't yet, I'll remind you once more, the team has this free PDF ebook for you. This right here. This is a 2,000 core words of English. So if you want to boost your vocabulary, there are some words you can use for like restaurants, for work, for other communication settings. So if you want to practice with some new vocabulary or just review some vocabulary, you can go download this after the live stream to get some practice in. Okay, so we'll finish there for today. Next week I'll be away, so I think the lovely Daphne will be leading the live stream next week, so please enjoy her lesson. I will be back in 2 weeks. I have a plan for next week's lesson, or sorry, for a lesson from 2 weeks from now. What did I choose for next 2 weeks? I don't know what Daphne's topic will be. My topic in 2 weeks, yes, we're going to cover modifiers. For example, we're going to talk about almost, just, nearly, and only. How do we use those? Because I see lots of mistakes with those. So we're going to practice using those words to talk about like those, oh, I almost did this, or I barely did that. What's the difference between almost and barely? Because those are tricky words when you think about it, okay? So please join me again in 2 weeks. Next week, please join and enjoy a lovely Daphne's lesson. I hope that's great for you all. And for now, I will say goodbye. So thank you so much to everybody for sending your great questions and your great comments. I really appreciate it. And for liking and sharing the video. Go check out the free PDF ebook to help you practice and have some great homework. Until the next time I see you. And also just have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to practice using almost, nearly, only, and just. These are very small words you might not think about a lot, but they're very interesting because when we put them in different places in the sentence, we can change the meaning of the sentence. So these are very important to understand, of course, the meaning of, but we also need to know when and where to apply them. So today we're going to practice this, and we're also going to look at some examples of how sentences can be correct using these words in different positions, and we're going to talk about why those sentences mean different things. So I hope this is a really interesting lesson, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or even an advanced learner. So as you join, please make sure to hit the like button, and of course share this video so that other people can find today's lesson. That would be cool. If you're watching live, send a message in the chat and I will come and say hello in just a moment. All right? So while we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to mention this banner right here at the bottom of the screen that says, get 45% off. The team has a 45% off discount at EnglishClass101.com right now. So if you have been thinking about starting a study program, you can start with us now. It's a great time to do that. If you click the link below the video, if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video, if you're watching on Facebook, you can find all of the details on this page right here. So check this out. I'll remind you a little bit later. You will find all the details at EnglishClass101.com. Okay, so let me check the chat. Hello, everybody in the YouTube chat. Hi, Rocky. Hi, Stalin. Hi, Natalie, Victor. Matilda, hi, Patrick, and Zach, hey, John. All right, welcome. Facebook, I don't see people in Facebook yet. Maybe they are joining. Let's get into the first part of today's lesson. Also, if you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video because it really does help people to find the lesson. So today we're going to talk about these words. These words, almost, just, nearly, and only, these are examples of words that are called modifiers. So a modifier is used before other information to change how we understand that, right? So when we say that something is beautiful, for example, we change how we understand that word, right? But today's modifiers are a little bit tricky, a little bit unusual, because we can put them in different parts of the sentence and change the meaning a little bit. So it's really important to know where these words should go, all right? So today I want to practice with these 4 and help you get a better understanding of these. So for your warm-up in the chat, your warm-up task, your warm-up homework, I guess, is to try to make a sentence using one of these. Use almost, nearly, just, or only to make a sentence, okay? You can make any sentence that you want, but it must feature, it must include one of these words. We're going to practice it today. And then you can review the sentence you made at the beginning of this lesson, at the end of the lesson, to see how you might change it, okay? So again, the key point for today that I want to practice is this point. Choosing a different place in the sentence can change the meaning of the sentence with these words, okay? So that means many possible correct sentences are okay. However, not all of the meanings are what you want to say, okay? So we're going to practice this today. All right, some examples are coming on YouTube. Zach wrote, I almost made it to the entrance of the auditorium. Okay, cool. So that will be your sentence to think about during today's class. Great. Alma wrote, I can almost see it. Okay. Aprendido wrote, I just have dinner. Oh, maybe I just had, past tense, maybe you want that. Okay, so for today, yeah, make your sentence now, and then let's go through the lesson together, and then we're going to, you can come back to that sentence and think, did I say it correctly? Did I use the modifier correctly? Okay, so let's see. Hello, everybody that's joining on Facebook. Marquez, Thomas, Eric, Johnny, what's up, everybody? Awesome. Okay, let's continue to the first part then. I'll go on this side. Let's begin with almost and nearly, okay? So almost and nearly, both of these words, they express close to something. We can use it to mean that something is close, like physically close, or conceptually close, okay? So let's look at some examples so you can understand. I want to note in American English, in US English, which I speak, that's the style of English I speak, almost is more common in everyday conversations. Nearly is okay to use, but it's more common in other types of English, like British English might use nearly a little more often than American English. It's okay to use them. So let's compare, let's compare these two sentences then with almost, okay? Let's focus on almost now. Sentence A is, I almost ate all of the cookies. I almost ate all of the cookies. Sentence B, I ate almost all of the cookies, okay? So maybe you can see in this sentence, the first one here, almost comes before the verb ate, right? And in sentence B, almost comes before all, right? Oh, I did that backwards, didn't I? Sorry. So almost comes before the word all here, okay? So what's the difference, right? In this sentence, in sentence A, I almost ate all of the cookies, but this means I did not, okay? So because it comes before the verb ate in this case, it means I did not do the verb, okay? I did not eat in this case, okay? In this sentence, in sentence B, because it comes after the verb and before the quantity, all in this case, it means, yes, I did. I ate some cookies, but I did not eat all the cookies, right? So saying I ate almost all, this means I ate close to all of the cookies, or very nearly all of them, like 90% of the cookies, okay? So in this situation, we're talking about the quantity. In this situation, we are talking about the action. And we know this just because of the position of almost in this sentence, okay? So I'll come to check in the chat and see if there's any examples that are coming there. Zach, nice one, Zach. Zach wrote, almost all of my classmates passed the exam. Great example sentence. So that uses pattern B. So it's using almost, that uses almost before the quantity, right? Almost all of my classmates passed the exam, okay? But again, we could create a sentence with almost before the verb. This is correct. So many learners will write to say, which one is correct? Which one is the most correct or something? Both sentences are correct, okay? But they have very different meanings, okay? All right, so with this in mind, let's continue. Let's compare this to nearly. Like I said, nearly is okay, of course, to use in everyday US English conversation. Maybe almost is a little bit more common. But let's take a look at some sentences with nearly, okay? So sentence A uses, we nearly walked for 3 hours. We nearly walked for 3 hours. Here is my nearly, and in this case, I have my verb, okay? In sentence B, we walked for nearly 3 hours. We walked for nearly 3 hours. Notice, in this sentence, nearly is again before a quantity or a time period in this case. So again, sentence A, 100% correct. Sentence B, 100% correct. But let's break down the difference. So, we nearly walked for 3 hours. Again, because nearly is before the verb, it means we did not do the verb. We did not completely do the verb. So for example, this might be, you're using your phone's GPS, but you put in the wrong address, or you made an error, or there was some problem, and you almost, or rather, you were going to take a long walk somewhere, like on a hike maybe, but you realized, oh, this is incorrect. So you could say, oh my gosh, we nearly walked for 3 hours. That would have been a mistake, right? So this expresses we did not do that action. Sentence B, however, we walked for nearly 3 hours. This sentence means we walked and the time was close to 3 hours. So it was not exactly 3 hours, but it was close to 3 hours, okay? So again, both sentences are correct. We only changed the position of nearly here to change the meaning of the sentence, okay? Let me come to the chat. Hello, everybody who is joining. Let me see if there are other, okay. Rocky wrote, I was almost late, maybe you want to say. So instead of I almost got late, say we would say I was almost late for school, for homeschool, but I made it. Yeah, I was almost late. Yeah, that would sound better, okay? Minnow wrote, I almost finished all of my homework. Okay, almost finished, so that one means this. So that means you didn't do your homework, you didn't finish it, right? Do you want to say, I finished almost all of my homework? So do you want that to be before all in this case? It depends on what you want to say, yeah? Okay, Stalin wrote, I almost missed the party this weekend. So that means you attended the party, right? Is that what you want to say? So the sentences are correct, right? But we need to think about what we would like to say, okay? Zach wrote, we've lived in this city for nearly 2 decades. Nice one, nearly, nice use of nearly. Victor wrote, I attended almost 100 English classes. Great example, yeah. So if you attended 95 or 99 English classes, you could say, I attended almost 100. Great. Zach wrote, the project is nearly complete. We have a few details left. Nice. Okay. Rocky, yes, nice fix. I was almost late for homeschool. Got it. Nice one. Okay. Oh, on Facebook, there's one. Hi, and well, I'm nearly to the store. Oh, yeah, good one. So that one means like physically, I am nearly to the store. So I'm not 100% at the store. I'm 90% of the distance to the store. Nice one. Aprendido, hello, wrote, we nearly paid for the iPhone 17. So that sounds like that's 100% correct sentence. But yeah, you did not pay for the iPhone 17, right? Maybe you thought about it, or you were online checking, maybe thinking, but you did not pay for the iPhone 17, okay? Great, nice job everybody, great job with this. Okay, so with this in mind, if you wrote a sentence at the beginning of this live stream, you can check that if it used almost or nearly. But let's go on to the more, I think, the more interesting pair. Maybe the most interesting word for today's lesson, only, okay? So I'll move to that after a very quick break. I need to remind you about the team's banner right here. This little thing. Sale ends soon, it says here. The team has created a 45% off discount at EnglishClass101.com. Oh my gosh. If you want to start studying with us, you can start by clicking the link in the YouTube description down here or above this video on Facebook. Hello, Facebook, if you're watching. This is a great opportunity to begin studying with us. So if you have been thinking about it for a long time, this can be a great chance to begin. So you can find all of the details from this page right here. Check it out, see which plan is the best for you, and go crazy, okay? All right, I'll remind you again one more time at the end of the lesson. But let's continue to only and just. Ta-da! If you haven't, please make sure also to like this video and share it because it helps other people find the lesson. Okay, let's go to only. All right. I like talking about only because it's very interesting. Even native speakers find this interesting usually, this example. Today I will give you a short example of the magic of the word only because this is one of the most common errors that native speakers make, actually. This is a common error that book editors have to fix. So let's look at what it is. What are we going to fix here? First, only. The word only expresses this and nothing else, okay? So we have to think carefully about where we put only in the sentence. Let's compare today just 3 sentences, sentence A, B, and C. First one, I only saw Sarah at the park. I only saw Sarah at the park. Here's our only. It comes before a verb, okay? I'll go through the 3 sentences and then we'll break down what is different and why it matters, okay? Sentence B, I saw only Sarah at the park, okay? So here's only before Sarah, right? We moved the only in the sentence. Sentence C, I saw Sarah only at the park, okay? Here's only. In this case, it's before the location, all right? So all 3 sentences, sentence A, sentence B, and sentence C, 100% correct, 100% correct, but they mean different things. So what does they mean? What is the difference here? First one, A, I only saw Sarah at the park. This modifies the verb saw in past tense, right? So this means I only saw Sarah at the park with my eyes, right? I did not talk to Sarah. I did not wave at Sarah. I did not do a dance with Sarah. I only saw Sarah at the park, right? She was far away, maybe, okay? So in this sentence, it's about the action. The focus is the action. I only saw her there, okay? I did not do anything else. Let's compare this to sentence B. I saw only Sarah at the park, okay? I saw only Sarah at the park. Maybe I went to the park because I thought a lot of my friends would be at the park. But today, I saw only Sarah, nobody else at the park, okay? Just one person, or maybe only one person I knew, okay? So I saw only Sarah today. I did not see person A or person B or person C, okay? Third sentence, I saw Sarah only at the park, all right? In this sentence, it's before the location, right? Only comes before the location. So in this situation, it might mean the speaker went to an event that day with some friends, but Sarah was only at the park. Maybe at the event and at the store, the speaker saw other people, maybe, but Sarah was only at the park, okay? So this is a very short example of this, but only, as you can see, changes the meaning of the sentence depending on where we place it, okay? I'm gonna come to check your examples. Rocky wrote, I only saw Sebastian at the park. Yes, this is the same one. You've just changed Sarah for Sebastian, okay? Zach wrote, the store is open only on weekends. Great, good, 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 okay. And another one that Zach wrote, only you can solve this problem. Okay, good, yes. So the common mistake that people will make, native speakers will often make, is they don't think about where the only should go in the sentence, right? So they will often use sentence A's position. They will put it before the verb. It's a very common error. They'll say, oh, I only saw Sarah at the park. But it's like, wait, what? What do you really want to say? That's a very common error, is using only in the position of sentence A. But we need to think about which part of the sentence we want to modify, okay? Oh, good, some more coming in. Patrick wrote, I only ate the beans and rice in my lunch yesterday. Chicken is very expensive. Oh, okay, so I only ate beans and rice for lunch yesterday, right? You don't need an article there because you're introducing it to us, right? So I only ate beans and rice for lunch yesterday. That's perfect. Great, so I only ate, that is correct. However, are you emphasizing the eating of the beans and rice, or are you emphasizing the food, right? So I ate only beans and rice would be the best way to express it if you want to emphasize just that type of food. Does that make sense? I should move on to just, okay? Let's see. Francisco on Facebook wrote, I bought only this pair of shoes. Good, okay, so that's the only thing I bought, right? I did not buy anything else. I bought only these pair of shoes, okay? And another one, I didn't include it here, you can put it at the beginning of the sentence too, like only I saw Sarah at the park. That is also possible, meaning no one else saw Sarah at the park. So that's another common place to put only. Some people did it in the comments. Okay, Let's see, any others that I haven't read? If you're sending many examples, great, I see you. I'm going to try to check sentences from everybody. Juan wrote, I follow you and I understand, so I understand you only in these examples. Okay, do you mean you understand only in these lessons? If so, that's great. I'm happy that these lessons are helpful and easy for you to understand. This person, can I enroll in your course? There's literally a link. Click the link in the description if you want to get the course. That's the English Class 101 course. Anybody from anywhere can join. Okay, let's go to just. Okay, oh my gosh, time. How does time go so quickly? I love to explain. Let's look at just. So just can have the same meaning as only. It can, this one. So just can mean this and nothing else. However, it can also refer to a very recently completed action, okay? So let's do a comparison of sentence A and sentence B here, because this is another really common issue, something that is not clear in writing, okay? Let's compare sentence A and B. They use just. Sentence A, I just got $1,000. I just got $1,000. Here is just before the verb got, okay? I just got $1,000. Correct. The sentence is correct. B, I got just $1,000. I got just $1,000. Here, the just is before the money, the amount, right? So again, both sentences 100% correct. Perfect, beautiful, flawless sentences. We love them. So what's the difference here? I just got $1,000 sounds like I very recently received $1,000. Like yesterday, my grandma gave me $1,000. Okay, I just got it, or I got it as a bonus for my work. Yeah, that's exciting. So this sounds like a very recently completed action before the verb here. In sentence B, however, I got just $1,000. Just in this sentence doesn't mean a recently completed action. This is more like the only version. It has a negative feeling. I got just $1,000. Maybe I expected $5,000, but I got just $1,000. We know this because it's not before the verb in this sentence, okay? It comes before the quantity, in this case, the amount of money, all right? So again, both sentences are correct, but they communicate very different ideas, okay? Let me come to check your sentences. Oh my gosh. Renee wrote, I only look for her. Okay, I only look for her. So that means you will not do anything else. You will not talk to her. You will not wave at her. You only look, right? Is that okay? Is that what you want to say? Let's see. MSR wrote, it is just to reconfirm. Okay, you could say that, like this call is just to reconfirm. You might use that on the phone. That would work. Rocky wrote, I just got here. Good, okay. Stalin wrote, that's just what I needed. Yeah, okay, that's kind of a set phrase, I guess. That's just what I needed. It's a bit of a set phrase, maybe a little different from today's topic, but correct, nice. Unwell wrote, I just added $1. Okay, so I just added, that's a very recently completed action, right? So if you could say, again, I added just $1, just like in this example too, to make a different sentence. Okay, and back on YouTube, Zach wrote, it's just a joke. Okay, so it's nothing more than a joke. All right, good, just looks pretty good. Black Eagle wrote, I just got a present. Yeah, very recently received a present. Nice ones. Okay, that sounds good. Maybe only is the one that lots of people need a lot of practice with. So I have included, it's kind of hard to see, sorry everybody, I ran out of room on this control desk, I think will help us. So I included a very, very, very small guide that I hope can help you decide when you should use just, when you should use only, because there is a little bit of overlap here, right? We can use it sometimes in the same situation. So for a recently completed action, like in sentence A here, we can use just. So we cannot use only to talk about a recently completed action. We cannot use those two in the same way. So use just for a recently completed thing. For a quantity, like we talked about here, 1,000, or I guess I didn't use one here, but when you're talking about a quantity or an amount, right, you can use either. Like in sentence B, I got just $1,000, or I got only $1,000. Both are okay for a quantity or an amount. That's what that says there. And here, at the end of a sentence, that's the only place that you can use only, okay? Sometimes you'll see at the end of a sentence, like somebody will try to say a sentence like this, I saw Sarah at the park only. It's sort of strange, but you cannot use just in that position. You might see people say only at the end of a sentence. You cannot use just in this way. Okay. I'm checking for more examples. Chris wrote, it's just kidding. You would say, I'm just kidding, right? For a joke, when you use just, I'm just kidding. So to kid means to joke or to tease, okay, as a verb. I'm just kidding. I am, right? You need to say that that's what you're doing, okay? Let's see. Some people are spamming today. What is going on? All right, I don't see any other examples of that. Good. Oh my gosh, that ended on time. What a concept. Great. Okay, so I got through the whole lesson. Oh my gosh, and the time allotted to me. That's amazing. That never happens. So I hope that this was a helpful lesson for you to practice these words, these modifiers. I know it seems kind of like, this is like, it doesn't seem that important, but it really does change the meaning of sentences. And it's good to know where we should use these words because it can make a big difference in what we want to communicate. So I will give you a QR code now. If you want to take a picture of today's lesson notes, you can do that now. Okay, it's making the notes now, so get your phone ready. You can take a picture of this QR code to get that. Ta-da! Great. And if you don't want that, if you just want a screenshot without me, there you go. You can take a screenshot of that. Okay, great. So that is today's lesson topic. Next week, of course, I will be back next week. What did I choose for next week's lesson topic? Oh my gosh, this year is going so quickly. Live stream topic for next week. It will be, of course, the same time, the same channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, you can Google it or set a notification so you get a pop-up when we start this live. Next week, I'm going to talk about explaining upcoming changes. Ah, yes, I wanted to talk about expressions like from now on and as of today and those kinds of things to talk about like when you have a plan in the future for a change. How do you describe the point where you need to make that change? This is really useful for company, like policy changes, school changes, government and city, community changes. How do you express those changes? How do you understand them also? We see this a lot in the news. So please join me next week to talk about upcoming changes, okay? All right, that will be all for me today. Hooray! Thanks everybody for joining me again. That was really, really cool. Also, don't forget the Teams 45% off discount. Woo! Now is a great time to check this out. If you have not checked it out, I hope this is a great chance for lots of you to start learning. You can check out all the details here at EnglishClass101.com. Check the link down here or up here to get all of the information that you need, and you can get that 45% discount today, which we love. Okay? All right, I will say goodbye for now. So have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye! Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about explaining upcoming changes. Today, we're going to begin with a short review of simple future tense. We're going to cover will, won't, and going to, not going to quickly. Then, we're going to talk about some change expressions. So the expressions we use to mark the point of a change or the ones we use to talk about the point of a future change. Then lastly, we're going to practice using passive tense but in the future to talk about things that are going to happen in the future when we don't know who is going to do the action. So I hope that today is a super helpful lesson for talking about all of those plans that you have coming up. So as you join, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so that other people can find today's lesson, and put a comment in the chat so I can say hello if you're watching live. If not, I can at least see your comment later maybe. So while we wait for everyone to join us, I want to point out this banner at the bottom of the screen which says download your free 2,000 word ebook. If you haven't seen it, the team has a free PDF ebook that has the 2,000 core words of English. The core words of any language are the most important words for everyday conversation. So if you want to get a free ebook that has the 2,000 core words for English, you can click the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook, and you can get that for free. You just need your name and your email address to get a totally free account, 100% free account, and then you can download this ebook. I'll remind you again later. Okay, we have a lot to cover as always, so let's begin quickly. I'll say hello in the chat quickly. Hello, Cynthia from Belgium. Hello, welcome. That's usually don't see people from Belgium. Welcome. Razek, hi. Elke, hi. Rocky, hi. Luis, Patrick, and Victor. Welcome, everybody. That's all the names I see so far. I will come check in a minute. Facebook is up. I don't see people there yet. Hello. And Senio on YouTube. Hello. Okay, let's begin with a quick review of simple future tense. Type frantically. You can type like crazy your future tense examples for your warm-up for today's lesson. So we're going to use future tense as the main grammar point, like the base grammar point for today, okay? So let's begin by quickly reviewing. Let's quickly review the differences between will and going to, all right? Will and won't in the negative. When do we use this? We use this for decisions in the moment. Like, for example, you go to a restaurant and you choose your lunch item, or you choose something at a cafe. You just made the decision, right? We use will to do that, those small everyday decisions. And we use it when you're not sure of the plan, okay? So your weekend plan, like those feelings when you're like, maybe I'll do that, or I think I'll do that. So you're not 100% sure of the plan, right? But you want to express the future plan and indicate that you're not 100% sure, okay? So here are some example sentences with will. I've used the reduced form. So let's take a look. Let's break these down quickly. I think I'll have a salad for lunch. I think I'll have a salad for lunch, okay? In this sentence, we have here I'll, which is the reduced form of I will, and we followed it with the verb. I'll have, right? The base verb form. No change to the verb. Easy, right? I think I'll have a salad for lunch. Second, this weekend, I'll probably stay home. This weekend, I'll probably stay home. Again, we have I'll, I will, and here I have modified it with probably, and then the verb stay home, okay? So again, this is just a quick review. If you want to know more about how to use will and won't, you can find one of my lessons on the English Class 101 YouTube channel, and you will be able to practice this in depth, okay? I'm checking the chat really quickly. Zach wrote, they will have a meeting this afternoon. Good. We'll do our best to win the game. Good. Nevian wrote, I won't be able to make the trip tomorrow. Great. Rocky wrote, someday I'll be making an audio podcast for myself. Oh, I'm excited for it. Right? We don't say I'm dying. Maybe I'm dying to do that. We could say, okay? Let's see. Cynthia wrote, I think I'll probably come home from the hospital. Make sure you have a verb there. I'll probably verb, yeah? And then it's perfect. Great job. Patrick, maybe tomorrow I'll go to the dentist. Maybe tomorrow I'll go to the dentist this week. You need to choose one or the other, right? Tomorrow or next week, or this week, sorry. So maybe tomorrow I'll go to the dentist is okay. All right. Hello on Facebook. Hi, Abdullah and Lionel. Welcome, everybody. So let's compare this now to going to. Nice job, everybody, with will and won't. Now let's compare this with going to. Going to and not going to, we use for very strong decisions in the moment. Something we feel very emotionally connected to. Like when you are young and your mom or your dad or your parent or your guardian, when they say to you, you can't go to the party unless you do your homework, or you can't go to that thing you want to do, and you say, I'm going. That is a strong decision, a future tense decision that uses going to, okay? I'm going to the party, all right? So we use it for these strong moments, these very emotional decisions, and we use it for decisions you made before the conversation, yeah? So meaning you made a plan with someone before the conversation, okay? So it's done, it's ready, right? And then, oh, sorry, hey, control desk, can we maybe move the part down a little bit? Thank you so much. Okay, so we also use it for 100% sure plans. So you already know that you are going to do that thing, okay? So let's take a look at some examples, and then I will look at your examples in the chat. So first, I'm going to visit my grandparents tomorrow. Here we have going to right here, and our verb is visit, right? I'm going to visit my grandparents tomorrow. We use going to because it sounds like it's a decision you made before the conversation. You probably talked to your grandparents before this conversation. Like if I say to my friend, I'm going to visit my grandparents tomorrow, probably before this conversation, I talked to my grandparents, right? I'm coming to visit. Is it okay if I come on, tomorrow? So that's why we use going to here. If you say, I will visit my grandparents tomorrow, sounds really strange. It sounds like you're not sure or you just decided, which doesn't make sense here. So use going to, okay? Second one, we're not going to buy a new car. We're not going to buy a new car. Here we have the negative, not going to, and our verb is buy. Okay, so the negative here, again, sounds like we decided before the conversation. So if I'm talking to my friend and I say, yeah, we're not going to buy a new car, that sounds like I spoke with maybe my partner and we decided now is not the right time. It's too expensive or we can't find the right car. So we decided, right, before this conversation, and then I say, we're not going to buy a new car. Okay? So again, strong decisions, like the kid who wants to go to the party, and decisions we made before the conversation. Okay? Let's keep this in mind because this is important for the base of today's lesson. Okay? Phew, we're done here. So let's go back to the main. Thanks, great job, control desk. So let me check the chat. What's up, chat? Oh my gosh, hello everybody that's saying hello on Facebook. Hello, is it everyday live here? No, live once a week for like 7, 8 years now, I think. Okay, Zach on the YouTube chat, what are you going to do after graduation? A question, we love that, okay? Stalin wrote, I'm going to travel next month. No the there. I'm going to travel next month. Cynthia wrote, I'm going to the cinema with friends this evening. Perfect, nice one. Zach, I see you're writing many messages. Great job. I'm trying to read from everybody who is writing. Rocky, I'm going to be live streaming for my Christmas concert this year. Really? Is that true? Good job. Okay, that sounds cool. Good luck. Okay, so let's continue to a super quick break, and then we're going to use this grammar point. We're going to use this grammar point in part 2, okay? So this is really important that we get right. All right, oh my gosh, I have to go over here, sorry. Okay, so in case you missed it earlier, the team has a free 2,000-word PDF ebook that you can use to practice your vocabulary. The core words of English are the core words, meaning the most commonly used words in everyday communication. So this free PDF ebook, which you can download at EnglishClass101.com, has the 2,000 core words all together, so you can download them, put them on your phone, you can print it out, you can put it on your computer, you can use it to make flashcards with, you can boost your vocabulary with the most important words first. So you can download this now for free. Click the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You just need your name and an email address to get that ebook. So check it out. Okay, let's continue to part 2. If you haven't, also please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson. So let's continue to part 2. We're going to talk about change expressions now. So we practiced our future tense. Now we're going to use future tense to build on this, to use some key change expressions. So first, let's talk about these two, this pair. We have in red here, from now on and from this point forward. So from now on and from this point forward, they have the same meaning, but from this point forward sounds more official. You might use it in like business, like in a company speech, or in a very formal situation, maybe in politics, like announcing a policy, for example. So in everyday speech, I recommend from now on, but in very polite situations, you can say from this point forward to sound more official. They mean the same thing. So let's break it down. From this point forward means, if we look at this on a timeline, where the star is now, this is the future, and back here, this is the past. We're saying from this point forward, or from now on, means starting now, something is going to change, okay? So we did something one way. Maybe you can see the small blue dots here. We did something like this before, but starting now, something is going to be different, okay? So in this expression, from now on and from this point forward, both refer to this change point right here, okay? So let's look at this in some sentences so you can see what the change is, and you can try to make your own sentences. This is very, very easy to use with the grammar point we talked about before. To use this, just put it at the beginning of the sentence. That's it. It's really, really easy. So let me show you some examples. First, from now on, we're going to have staff meetings just once a month. From now on, we're going to have staff meetings just once a month. Okay, in this sentence, here is my future tense section. This is exactly the grammar we used in part 1. We're going to have staff meetings just once a month. Here's my going to. We're going to have, right? Staff meetings just once a month, okay? And this part, from now on, shows starting now. This is the change point, okay? We are expressing a change for the future. It's so easy to do, right? This is a really easy way to do it, yeah? Okay, let's look at a more formal example then. From this point forward, I'm going to exercise every week. From this point forward, I'm going to exercise every week. This sounds like a very official, right, statement, right? Maybe you've been struggling for a long time and you say something to sound very official. You want to make an official announcement to your friends. It sounds a little bit funny. It sounds a little funny because it's very official, but we might do this when we are very serious. So here we have the change expression. From this point forward, here we have the simple future tense expression. I'm going to. I'm going to. Here is my verb. I'm going to exercise every week, right? So we have our plan, and then we have the change expression. So this is really, really easy to do. You will note, maybe you can see here, I've used going to for these. There's a reason for this. From this point forward, or from now on, usually when we use this expression, it's because we made a plan, right? Usually we don't make the decision in the moment and then say, okay, I'll change from right now. Yeah, it's a little bit strange. Maybe there are some situations where it's okay to use will, but usually we use this kind of pattern when we are announcing a plan. So in most cases, you will use I'm going to, or the going to grammar pattern, okay? All right, let me come check your sentences, and then we're gonna look at the second pattern, which we can use in a lot of flexible ways. So, what did you write? For Jamal wrote, from now on, I am going to sleep early. Great, okay, good one. Zach wrote, we used to allow casual dress every day, but from now on, business casual is required on Mondays. Great. Rocky wrote, from now on, I'm going to mind my own business. Okay, just end it there. I'm going to mind my own business, or I'm always going to mind my own business. That sounds good. Mino wrote, from this point forward, we'll talk to our customers with polite words. Oh, I would say, one, use going to, again, because it sounds like you made a plan. But that sentence means Before, you used rude words to talk to your customers. Was that correct? So maybe consider what the nuance of the sentence is, yeah? Okay, grammatically, okay, but think about the meaning there. Okay, Patrick, from now on, I am going to stop smoking cigars. Okay, from now on, I would say I'm going to stop smoking cigars. You put every day at the end there. Does that mean from now on, I'm going to smoke cigars only every week? Like, what does that mean? What does every day mean at the end of your sentence? Grammar is okay. From now on, I'm going to stop smoking. When you connect stop or start with a verb, when you link those, you need to put the ing verb form at the end. Stop smoking or start exercising, okay? Cynthia wrote, from now on, I'm going to be working from home. Okay, good. Congo, from now on, this Friday. Okay, so we don't, good question, Congo. I think you put question at the end. Make sure this is a regular action or some regular change that you are going to do. If you just want to talk about something that happens this week, like you put this Friday, I'm going to sleep or I have to go to bed at 8 p.m., it doesn't make sense. This is not something for like a one-time change. We want to use this expression to talk about something we did regularly before, and we are going to do regularly in the future, like every day, every week, every month, right? And we want to express that it is going to change, yeah? So we want a regular action for this one, okay? Let's see, some more. Senio wrote, I used to sleep late. From now on, I'm going to bed early. Okay, I would say I used to go to sleep late. To sleep late means like to sleep until a late time in the morning. Yeah, so I used to go to sleep late. Okay. Oh my gosh. Some people on Facebook wrote, I'm going to eat, I'm going to school. You have a future tense sentence. Can you use it to express a change? This is today's lesson challenge. So let's continue to the next sections. The next pattern uses this expression, as of. It starts with as of, and I gave you a few examples. We're going to practice this here. So as of today, or as of next week, as of 2026, we can put any point in time in this pattern, okay? As of. So this one we use very, very similar to this from this point forward pattern. So as of today, or as of next week. What this as of does, this as of tells us when the change is going to happen, okay? So think of this as of kind of like this, but we can move it. So we can move it in one direction or another. It can go this way, it can go that way, always in the future. So as of today means now, as of today, right? As of next week means this change is going to happen in the future, yeah? As of 2026 means very far in the future. This change is going to happen, or this condition is going to be different. So as of gives us the point. It introduces the point for change, okay? So you can put that in your note. As of marks the point of change. Okay, so let's look at some sentences that use as of now. First one, as of next week, there will be no company dress code. As of next week, there will be no company dress code. Okay, a couple points in this sentence. Maybe you've noticed already. So, as of, we have here. This marks the point of the change. Next week, in this case. Okay, so here, as of next week, there will be no company dress code. Notice we have a will in this one. So this means it could be a really casual decision that was made. It could be something that's not so important, right? So as of next week, there will be no company dress code. It could be something like that. So it's okay to use a will pattern here. Like I said before, while usually we use these patterns to introduce a plan we've decided, there are some cases where it does sound natural and it does sound appropriate to use will. So here we have one. There will be no company dress code. All right, let's look at the second one. As of today, our company will be using only clean energy. As of today, our company will be using only clean energy. All right, so here again, as of today in this case. So starting today, right? This point that I talked about before. Starting today, our company will be using, okay, only clean energy. So it sounds like I just decided this thing a little bit, maybe, yeah? So you could use a going to pattern. As of today, our company is going to use clean energy. Sounds a little more confident, but again, maybe the CEO made the decision today, like as of today, we'll only use clean energy. So there are some cases where you will see will being used, but we use these patterns, these as of patterns, to show when the point or when the change point is going to happen. Okay, let me check your examples now. So again, Rocky wrote, as of next week, I'm getting a haircut. Okay, again, we must choose a regular action, yeah? Not a one, this is not for a one-time action. So I'll put that on the board here. I'll put that, I'll just write it in black here. Regular actions, okay? So these must be not one-time actions, but regular things that happen. So we cannot choose like something that we do one time, yeah? So in all of these examples, we have a recurring or an action that happens regularly. So a staff meeting, we have it regularly. Maybe before, once a week, now once a month. Here, exercising. Maybe I never exercised before, but now I'm going to exercise regularly. In this one, no company dress code was everyday company dress code, but now there's no company dress code. And in this one, using energy, that's a regular thing that happens, right? We don't use this for one-time actions, okay? Samuel wrote, as of today, I will have my own dress code. Okay, good. That's very funny. It's good. Okay, Fernando on Facebook wrote, as of today, I will be better. Okay, what does that mean? I'm curious. Your grammar sounds good. Grammar sounds good. Zach wrote, as of next Monday, the library will extend its opening hours. Good. Okay. Jamal wrote, as of today, no one will leave early without telling me. Nice one. Very nice example sentence. Great. So make sure that these are all recurring activities. Natalie wrote, as of tomorrow, we will use the new password for the door lock. Nice one, Natalie. Great. Okay. Stalin wrote, Stalin, yeah, as of today, I'm going to save more. Okay, as of today. Or you can also use, you may also use starting today, yeah? Starting now, or starting next week, or starting tomorrow, I'm going to blah, blah, blah is also popular. Okay, Minnow wrote, as of next month, the minimum wage in Japan will go up. Ooh, is that true? Interesting. Okay, let's stop there. Oh my gosh, I'm already out of time. I like to explain. Let's take, maybe let's move on real quick and then I'll remind you again at the end. Okay, good. Let's talk about the last point for today. The last point I want to talk about is grammar. Woohoo, great. So let's talk about passive voice. Your favorite. But let's talk about passive voice in the future. So how do we use it to explain things that are going to happen in the future, but we don't know who's going to do it, right? This is a real thing, like in companies, in the news, in politics. Something is going to happen in the future, but we don't know the person who's going to do it, right? So let's take a look. Reminder, to make this grammar pattern, we're going to use a simple future tense verb, like will or going to, which we practiced today. Then we're going to use be, and then the past participle verb, okay? So let's take a look at some examples, and then let's talk about why we might use this. So first one, the package is going to be sent tomorrow. The package is going to be sent tomorrow. So here we have a future tense, passive expression, right? Let's break this one down quickly. Let's use red. Okay, so we have the package is going to, here's our simple future, right? Going to be plus our past participle verb. The package is going to be sent tomorrow. Why is this sentence in passive? Maybe because I don't know who is going to send the package or something like that, right? It's coming from some company. I ordered it from a company online. I don't know who is going to send the package, so we can use the passive to express that, okay? Next one, the decision won't be made until next week. The decision won't be made until next week. Here, the decision won't is our future tense verb. Be, we have, of course, part of the passive expression. And then we have made, our past participle verb. The decision won't be made until next week. Who is going to make the decision? I don't know. Or maybe I want to hide. Maybe it's me and someone else. We are making an unpopular decision next week, maybe. So we might use this sentence to hide or because we don't know the person making the decision, okay? Check the chat. Back in the chat on Facebook, Zelzin Diaz wrote, starting today, I will wake up 20 minutes earlier. Nice one, okay? And back on Facebook, Rocky, sorry, I don't know what to think of. That's okay, don't worry about it. Just, you will think of it in time. Okay, let's continue. Last example, the policies won't be made clear until next month. The policies won't be made clear until next month. So in this sentence, again, we have the negative, won't. We have our be in our passive structure. Be made clear. We can connect these two to make something clear. The policies won't be made clear until next month, okay? So that means next month is the point when the change will happen, but who is going to make the policies clear? Maybe we don't know, or we want to hide that thing, okay? So these sentences are very, very useful when we don't know the person doing the action or when we want to hide the person doing the action. So I've put that here. The actor is unknown. The actor means the person doing the action. And when the result is important, right? We want to focus on the result. In this case, the package, right? The package sending is very important, not who is sending the package. And in this sentence, the decision is what is important. And here, the policies are what is important, right? So we want to focus on the result of the thing, not the actor of the thing, okay? All right, let me see your examples. Fernando on Facebook wrote, my boss won't be here until next Friday. Okay, so my boss won't, the grammatically is correct, grammatically correct, all right? Zach wrote, this task is going to be done in 3 phases, okay? Let's see, Congo, what do you want to say? I won't be used to go to the grocery store every morning. Maybe I won't go to the grocery store every morning. What do you want to say there? I think there's, I won't be used to those are 2 very different grammar points. So maybe you can simplify, try to make a simpler example sentence and try again. Good effort. Okay, oh my gosh, time has gone quickly. So I'm going to wrap up today's lesson there. Oh my gosh, so much information. Oh, some more are coming in, oh my gosh. You don't have to write that you're sorry. It's part of the learning process. Don't be sorry. Now is your chance to make mistakes. I'm here to help you. Okay, but in case you missed it, I have maybe a last minute to do it. If you forgot, if you missed it before, the team has a free 2,000-word PDF ebook for you. You can download this from EnglishClass101.com. These are the 2,000 core words of English. That means the most commonly used words for everyday communication. You can get this for free. Put it on your phone, put it on your computer, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your forehead, wherever you want to use it to practice. So you can download this now. Check the link below the video, YouTube above the video, Facebook. You can get it free with your name and your email address only. Okay, so I'll have to finish there. Oh, if you want to take a screenshot with QR code, I will put the QR code up right now so you can do that. Here you go. Okay, and if you want to take a regular screenshot, you will have a chance in just a moment. So get your QR code screenshot now. Ta-da! Hooray! And for regular screenshot, there's your chance. Ta-da! Okay, good. All right, so that's it for everybody for today. Woohoo! Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Next week, I'll be back, of course. Next week, what did I choose for next week's lesson? Ah, yes, next week's going to be fun. Next week, I have planned a lesson titled Explaining Nuanced Opinions. Okay, nuanced means those opinions that have, like, it's not just one clear opinion, like, I love pancakes, but like, I think this is good, but I think this part is not so good. How do you express opinions that have a little bit of like flexibility? Yeah, you have to do this. Thanks, Control Desk. So join me next week to do more of this and to practice your nuanced opinions. So opinions that have lots of small opinions inside them. Yeah, it's really important to do that. That will be next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it or set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube so you get a pop-up when we start this live stream. So easy, right? So I'll say goodbye for today. Thank you everybody for liking and sharing the video. Thank you for your great comments and your great questions. Thanks for joining every week. I'm really happy that you all take the time to come and send your messages and learn it together. That's really super cool. I'll say goodbye for now. So have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about sharing nuanced opinions. Nuanced opinions means presenting a few different ideas in your opinion. So it's not just A or B, but how do you talk about the small opinions inside your bigger opinion? Today we're going to talk about some patterns you can use to do that all in one sentence very, very easily. So I hope this is a great lesson for learners of many different levels. As you join, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson, and send a message in the chat so that I can say hello to you. That would be really, really cool. While we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to mention this banner at the bottom of the screen which says to get your free PDF cheat sheets. So the team has created a whole bunch of PDF cheat sheets that you can download for free at EnglishClass101.com. So check this out. You can find all of the different PDFs from this page. If you go to the website and you log in, you can download everything right away. If you do not have an account, you can make a free account. You only need your name and your email address, and then you can download everything for free. So check it out. All right, I'll remind you again later. Okay. But we have a lot to cover today, so I want to start as soon as possible. I think that everything is rolling. It looks like Facebook is there, hooray! And I think that YouTube is also there, hooray! Wow, look at all the people on YouTube. Oh my gosh, hi everybody, welcome, hi. Can I scooch this forward, Control Desk? Is there enough space here? I can't see. Okay, maybe I'll move this forward too. Hello, Natalie and Abdul and Lavet, Digna, Fran, Stalin, Jamal, Aprendido Inglés from Brazil. What's up? Salman, Minnow, hi, Cherry. Oh my gosh, so many people today. And on Facebook, hello, Abdi. I saw you just there briefly. Oh my gosh, welcome everybody. Let's begin today's live stream topic because we have a lot to cover. Let's begin with our first pattern. For part one, I want to talk about presenting contrasting ideas. So when you want to express an opinion where you have two ideas that are kind of not the opposite, but for example, when you have one idea or one opinion that's kind of good and another opinion that's a little negative, how do you combine those two to create a sentence? Okay, so let's take a look. The first pattern is very, very simple. I think X, but I also think Y, okay? Where X is a simple sentence, your first idea. So usually, this X part is your kind of positive idea, the good point, okay? And then Y is kind of the not so good point, the little bit negative point, okay? And of course, X and Y should be about the same topic, okay? So let's go through the 3 example sentences I prepared. You can send me your example sentences in the chat and I will try to check them live. So let's take a look. How do we use this? First example, I think she's a very efficient worker, but I also think she's very hard to get along with. Okay, let's break down this sentence. Let's follow the pattern. I think X. Okay, so here's the I think, right? Then X. I said X is just a simple sentence 1. Here is my simple sentence. She's a very efficient worker. Right? Very simple. Inside this we have a subject, and then we have, in this case, we have an adjective, But we have this very efficient worker section to describe the positive part of this person, right? She's a very efficient worker. Oh, sorry, and my verb here. She is, right? She's a very efficient worker. Sentence 1. Then we present the other point, right? The negative point with but, right? But I also think she's very hard to get along with. Here we have simple sentence 2. She is, so here's our subject and our verb. And here, very hard to get along with. So hard to get along with someone means easy to have a good relationship with someone, okay? In this case, it's a negative thing. She's very hard to get along with, means it's difficult to make a good relationship with her. So in this sentence, we have, in part 1, X, a good point, right? She's a very efficient worker. But in sentence Y, we have this kind of negative point. So in this way, we can use this simple pattern to share 2 parts of one opinion, right? So this together helps express your opinion of a person, their good points and their bad points, okay? You can send your message in the chat now that we've practiced this structure. I'll go on to the next one and then I'll come back to the chat to say, to check your examples. Hello to everyone joining. Hi, Pensri from Thailand, welcome. Yospel from Cuba, what's up? And hello, oh my gosh, Juan and Liton, I think I didn't say hello to you before. Gide, hello, welcome. Okay, let's take a look at the second example sentence then. I think fried chicken for dinner sounds great, but I also think we should eat something healthy, okay? So when you make a decision for dinner, you might use this pattern, okay? Let's break this one down in our nuanced opinion. So I think, and then our first sentence is here. Fried chicken for dinner sounds great. Okay, so fried chicken for dinner, right? Sounds, here's our verb, great. That sounds great, okay? So that's a good point. But here's our contrast. I also think we should eat something healthy. Here's our second sentence. We should eat something healthy. So in this case, we present a not so healthy option and then a more healthy option or a suggestion for something healthy in the second part of the sentence, okay? So in this way, we can present 2 sides of an opinion, all right? I see some examples coming in. Hooray, Patrick wrote, orange juice is good for our health. Maybe unfortunately, nowadays the oranges are very expensive. Okay, so maybe you're using unfortunately here. So like orange juice is good for our health, and then instead of but, you used unfortunately. Do I have that right? Unfortunately, nowadays the oranges are very expensive. Okay, so maybe you just used unfortunately here. That works, that sounds great, okay. Minnow has a good one. I think she seems to be a good teacher, but I also think she's too childish to talk logically. Ooh, good, okay. So to talk logically or to think logically maybe could be a good one. Nice one, okay. Rocky wrote, I think actor, so you don't need Anne, I think actor Bob Hope is the funniest guy. But I also think he's kind of silly in some movies. Great, nice one. Great examples so far, everybody. Okay, let's look at one more different situation for our third example. It's kind of long, I hope you can see. So let's break down this one. Long sentence, it looks long, right? But it's the same pattern. It's a really simple pattern, okay? So let's take a look at what's happening. The sentence is, I think changing jobs could be good for you, but I also think you're making good money at your current job, okay? I think changing jobs could be good for you, but I also think you're making good money at your current job, okay? Very real life situation, right? Let's break this sentence down. Here we have our I think, okay? Next, changing jobs could be good for you, right? This is just a simple sentence. Changing jobs, so here's the topic here, changing jobs. And then in this sentence, we have could be, right, for our verb. So we're talking about a possibility here. It could be good for you, yeah? But our contrast point is here. But I also think, and then you're making good money at your current job. Here's another simple sentence. You're making, so here's our subject, and our verb, in this case progressive, you are making good money at your current job, right? So in this way, we can present two sides of a situation, right? This is maybe a very real life professional problem to have, or a professional question to have, right? Okay, let's see what else is coming in the chat. Stalin wrote, I think traveling is a lot of fun, but sometimes the journey is very tiring. I 100% agree. I agree with you. Traveling is a lot of fun, but yes, sometimes the journey is tiring. Okay, others. Salman wrote, I think the party was amazing, but the weather was terrible. Good, okay, so some people removed, you can remove this, so, but you can remove this part. Some people are doing that. That looks great. Nice one. Facebook, I see people saying, hello, I do not see example sentences. Your YouTube classmates are doing a fantastic job. They're putting long sentences in the chat. So make sure that Facebook people also send some example sentences. Okay. The Black Eagle, I think you're good at math, but I also think that you're good at science. Okay. I would put an and there because the ideas don't really contrast. Like, I think you're good at math and I think you're good at science. So in that sentence, you're kind of giving two good points, right? So in my mind, to me, I think you should use an and there. But right here, we use to show contrast. The two things, there's a positive side and a negative side, or two things are very different, right? Okay, let's see who else. Theo wrote, I think sleeping early could be good for your health. Okay, but I also think you're laying in bed even though you're not tired. Okay, I see what you mean, yeah. I would say to make it a little more natural, I think going to bed early could be good for your health, but I also think you might just lay in bed even though you're not tired, right? So you might just could mean like that might be a future possibility, yeah? Okay, nice examples, everybody. Way to go. Okay, Facebook, I'm waiting for your example sentences. You can say hello. I got it. Let's get some examples going. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then we'll continue to part 2, a little level up. Okay, this one's going to be a little more of a challenge, but I think you can do it. So very quickly, if you missed it, the team has a bunch, so many different PDF cheat sheets. Oh my gosh. They are 100% free. You can find them at EnglishClass101.com. So check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You can find all of the PDFs. You can choose all of them too. You don't have to choose only one or only two. Just log in to your EnglishClass101.com account. If you do not have an account, you can make one for free and come back to this page and download everything. Go crazy. I hope it's helpful. Okay, let's continue then. Let's go to part 2. So in part 2, we're going to talk about this doesn't mean pattern, okay? And there are a few variations, but let's take a look at the base pattern I want to use today. And also, if you haven't, please make sure to like the video and share it because it does help other people find the lesson. So let's take a look at doesn't mean. So the pattern I want to use is very similar to the pattern in part 1 today, okay? The pattern is while X, that doesn't mean Y, okay? While X, that doesn't mean Y. So in this pattern, again, where X is simple sentence 1 and Y is simple sentence 2, the grammar of the structure, the grammar in this pattern is very similar here. However, this that doesn't mean part is a different, creates a different type of contrast, creates a different type of relationship between X and Y, okay? So this sentence, this pattern means that X is true, okay? X is true, but X, even though X is true, well, yes, it's true, that doesn't mean, or that does not negate Y, okay? So that doesn't mean that Y can't be true, okay? Sounds confusing, so let's break it down with some example sentences, okay? So let's take a look at the first one. While our vacation budget isn't huge, that doesn't mean we can't have fun. So while our vacation budget isn't huge, that doesn't mean we can't have fun. Let's break down this sentence. First, we have while. at the beginning of the sentence, okay? So this is like a big hint. There's a contrast, there's a different idea coming soon, okay? So while our vacation budget isn't huge, here's X, right? Sentence, simple sentence number 1. Our vacation budget, here's our subject, here's our verb, isn't, and then we have huge, right? Really, really big, right? So our vacation budget isn't huge. This is idea number 1. Then we have this part. That doesn't mean, okay? So that means, yes, X is true. However, then we have, often at the end of this pattern, a kind of negative sentence. And when I say negative, I mean like a grammatically negative thing. So in this case, we can't have fun. We can't have fun. Okay, so you might think, oh, wait, does that mean we can't have fun because the budget isn't huge? No, the opposite. It means that although Y is true, although X is true, Y is still possible. Y is still possible, but we use a negative here. That doesn't mean we can't have fun, okay? So that means we can't have fun is not true, okay? So while our vacation budget isn't huge, that doesn't mean we can't have fun, okay? What's tricky, I think the challenging point here is often we use a grammatically negative, like we can't have fun here, okay? Let's look at another example sentence, and then I'll come to check the comments, okay? So the next one is, while I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, that doesn't mean I think he should have been fired. While I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, that doesn't mean I think he should have been fired. So let's break down this sentence, which is a past tense example, okay? So again, we begin with while, okay? Then I disagreed with the CEO's opinions is X. Simple sentence 1, okay? And here we have a past tense. I disagreed, okay? This tells us the situation has finished. It's over, right? I'm talking about a past situation. So while I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, that doesn't mean, and then here is sentence Y. I think he should have been fired. So this is an opinion, right? In this case, I think he should have been. So this, again, shows us the action happened in the past, okay? So this means, yes, I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, but in this situation, the CEO was fired. It's like, oh, that sounds like a surprise, right? Yes, I did not agree, but I don't think that was right. I don't think that was a good idea to fire the CEO. So we communicate that with that doesn't mean plus the opposite kind of grammar point, okay? So maybe you can kind of see this here. We have different grammar or different feelings in sentence 1 and sentence 2, in X and in Y. In this case, we have a kind of negative in sentence X, right? I disagreed, right? I didn't think that was good. But I think he should have been fired, right? So we're contrasting these 2 points, yeah? Okay, let's see what you wrote in the chat. I see some examples coming up. Minnow has a funny one. While you're the smartest in this class, that doesn't mean you're the greatest. Nice one, Minnow. I think there are some people that should hear that sentence. Great, great, good one. Okay. Zach, nice one. While I enjoy your company, that doesn't mean I want to spend every evening with you. Very nice example sentence. Okay. Victor wrote, while I'm studying so hard, or I would say, while I've been studying very hard, or similar, that doesn't mean that I'm going to get a good grade, maybe, or a good score on my test. Yeah. So maybe while I'm studying very, very hard, that doesn't mean I'm going to get a good score. Okay. Let me see some others. Hey, finally on Facebook, Miriam, you're our first one today. Great. Miriam wrote, while you have a high grade in math, that doesn't mean you don't need to practice. Nice one. That's a great one. That's a very, very nice sentence. Great job, Miriam. Okay, back on YouTube. If I have, let's see, I'm trying to read comments from everybody, so everyone has a chance. Jamal wrote, while bears look heavy, that doesn't mean they can't outrun us. Yes, that's true. That's a great one. Thanks, Jamal. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Rocky wrote, while something is starting to happen. Okay, something is starting to happen. That doesn't mean, right? That doesn't mean I'm not going to lose my cool. What is this situation? This is, you put while something is starting to happen. Can you be a little more specific? Like what's the something? Like while a fight is starting to happen, maybe? Like a fight or an argument, while an argument is starting, or maybe while I can see an argument is starting, that doesn't mean I'm going to lose my cool, okay? So watch out at the end of that. You put that doesn't, I'm not going to. So that doesn't mean, I'm a little confused by that one. Maybe can you help me understand the situation a little bit more? Great effort there. Okay. And Rhodey wrote, while we have a tight budget for our vacation, that doesn't mean we can't bargain for some souvenirs. Yeah, great. Oh, another one came on Facebook. Aziz wrote, while I was in the hospital, that doesn't mean I was sick. Good, okay, good. Maybe you had an accident or something, right? So while I was in the hospital, that doesn't mean I was sick. Very nice job, everybody. I thought this would be quite a challenging one. Okay, let's finish with one more example, and then we'll continue to some keywords. I had a lot I wanted to share today, but I didn't have enough space, so I chose the top keywords that I hope will be helpful to kind of boost your vocabulary this week. Anyway, let's go to the last one. While the school's rules are strict, that doesn't mean students can't enjoy their studies here, okay? So again, while the school's rules are strict, that doesn't mean students can't enjoy their studies here. So again, we begin with while, okay? Here is X, sentence X. The school's rules are strict. Our connecting phrase, that doesn't mean, plus students can't enjoy their studies here. While the school's rules are strict, students can't enjoy their studies here. These are our two main ideas that we contrast with that doesn't mean, okay? Great job with this one, everybody. I really am very impressed. Okay. Rocky, thank you for sharing more information. I meant I want the person to leave me alone and not yell at me. I didn't mean to. It's okay to confuse me. That's our job. That's how we work together here, right? So your original sentence, I want the person to leave me alone and not yell at me. Okay. So maybe while someone is starting to yell at me, that doesn't mean I'm going to lose my cool. Yeah. You were very close then. Okay. I think maybe just sentence X I needed a little more information in your sentence X to make it clear and easy to understand. Okay, great job, everybody. Let's continue on quickly then to some keywords to finish today's lesson. I wanted to include a few things to help you in those situations where you need more information, right? What are some keywords you can use to express an opinion, but when you don't have all the information yet? For example, when you are waiting for a new policy or a new rule at work or school or in your country, right? So how do we talk about that? The first one I want to share is the expression, we still don't know the details of X. We still don't know the details of, or this of could be about as well. We still don't know the details of X. So that means we don't know yet, but we are going to know in the future more information about the topic. For example, we still don't know the details of the car accident. We still don't know the details of the car accident. So this sounds like more details are going to come in the future. So we should wait, okay? So we still is a key word here. We don't know the details of the car accident is also correct, but still gives the expectation, right? We're going to learn more information in the future, so let's wait, okay? All right, then let's look at the next one. The next is a kind of a pair. I want to include both of these, the verb form and the noun form. The verb here is speculate, and the noun form is speculation, okay? These are important for news these days. News, social media news, and official news from official media sources. To speculate as a verb, To speculate means to make a guess about what is going to happen, or to make a guess about what is happening. So for example, in the car accident situation, if the news starts to guess that the driver came this way and someone was walking across the street, or the driver was drinking alcohol and that caused the crash, if the news or if the community, they start to make lots of guesses, they start to try to find who was the person, what did they do, they try to make guesses. That is called, as a noun, speculation, and we describe the action with the verb speculate. So, some examples then. We shouldn't speculate about breaking news. We shouldn't speculate about breaking news. Here's our keyword. We should not speculate. So it's not a good idea to speculate about breaking news. Maybe it's very entertaining and very exciting to try to make guesses, yeah, about breaking news. And in a noun, as a noun, this article is pure speculation. This article is pure speculation. Sometimes you read a news article and you realize, this is not official information. The writer is just guessing, right? They're just talking to people and putting together opinions. It's just speculation. The article is just speculation. So these words are very important for talking about the news and people's opinions about the news these days, okay? And finally, I wanted to include this expression, wait and see. Wait and see. This is like a set phrase. Two verbs, wait and see. We use it to mean let's stop, let's not make any decisions, let's not move forward, let's understand the information coming first, okay? So wait and see. For example, we're going to wait and see what happens next. We're going to wait and see what happens next. So this uses wait and see right here. Often we'll follow it with we're going to wait and see what happens next, or I'm going to wait and see what happens next, which means I am going to pause and I will wait to receive more information and then make a decision. So wait and see is a good one that you can use when you share your opinions, yeah? So like, I'm not sure yet, or we still don't know the details, so I'm going to wait and see, all right? I'm going to wait and see what happens. So this is a good one to mean you're waiting for information. Okay, we'll finish there, I think, for today. Let me check to see, I don't see other, oh my goodness. Zach, you've got a bunch. Great. Investors have long speculated about a merger between the two tech giants. Nice. Okay, good. I don't see other ones. Great job, Zach. I'm not just going to read everything, but great work. I have to finish there. Oh my gosh, today went fast as always, but we got it. We made it through today. Oh, if you would like to take a screenshot, I will create now a QR code so you can take a picture of today's lesson board. So I will get out of the way now. Ta-da! All right, great. If you would like to take a picture, now is your chance. If you want a regular screenshot, now is your chance. That is today's lesson information. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you. This is an important skill to express a nuanced opinion. Today, especially on the internet, people just say crazy things without lots of nuance. They don't consider that there are many small opinions inside our other opinions. So it's very important to be able to express these things. All right, I have to finish today's lesson, but next week I'll be back, of course. What did I choose for next week? Yes, next week will be fun. Next week we're going to talk about explaining what you want someone to do, like when you give someone instructions for something. So please join me for that very helpful lesson. How do you politely and kindly ask for someone to do something for you, right? How do you make it not a command, but how do you do it nicely? That will be our topic for next week. All right, so please join me next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, just Google it, or you can set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube so you get a pop-up notification when we start this live stream. Yay, great. All right. I will say thank you to everybody for joining me live this week, and don't forget the team has a ton. They have so many free PDFs for you to use to practice your vocabulary, to practice your conversation skills. They've added some as well recently, so if you haven't checked recently, go check and you can find all of the new ones that are on this page, and then you can download the ones that are new for you. So if you checked it before and you downloaded some, you can come back and download more. So go and do that. All right. So thank you everybody for liking and sharing and commenting and sending your questions. That was super, super cool. That's it for me for this week. So have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye. Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.